Good morning, shooters! I've got a slight problem, and we've seen the videos about this. The Umarex Colts, they get a loose barrel. See, a little bit of wiggle up here too. That's because these roll pins, or the casing, gets a little bit loose. So what we're going to do, hopefully, and we'll be successful, is I'm going to make a shim out of a piece of, yes, sorry, it's a beer can. That should take up this little bit of slop. So the first thing we want to do is let's make sure the gun is discharged. No active CO2 in there. Let's take the cartridge right out. Oh, this one seems to be stuck. There we go. Empty CO2. The next thing we want to get out of our way is let's take the shells out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get them all out. Now we know the gun is now clear. Oh, missed one. Hey, you little devil, get out of there. There you go. Now the gun is clear. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of masking tape. And put it across the loading port. Because inside there's a little ball and spring. And I'm going to have to manipulate this gun around a little bit. And I don't want this loading port to fall out. Which means that ball and spring will fall out too. Alright. What we're going to do here is we've got a roll pin right there. Let's get a little pointer stick. There's a roll pin right there, and it goes out in this direction. Now when we flip the gun over, there's another little roll pin right there, which also comes out this direction. The reason being is they have a tabbed end. They got little grooves on it. So what we have to do is we have to take the subassembly framing, sorry, I goofed my words there, off, and we're going to have to remove the cylinder and all the hammer springs and everything like that before we go any further. So let's grab the appropriate screwdriver from our screwdriver kit, which I've already picked the right bit. Make sure you have a container to put all those little tiny pieces in and springs. If you're disassembling the gun for the first time, take a photograph of how the springs go together. So here we go. I also have a magnet so I can grab the screws as we go along. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This video is probably going to wind up being long, but let's see how it goes. Now, if you ever have to replace your gas valve on one of these, most of these steps are going to be the same, because you have to go through all of this to replace your gas valve. I know it's tedious and boring, and you're probably all running out to get a coffee and popcorn, because that's probably what I would be doing. So this video is probably going to be 20 minutes long. And no, I'm not editing it. So don't even ask me, because you're going to be here live with me right now as I take it apart. Because this is the first time I've had to go this far into my pistol. Oh, come on, screw. You've been in and out of there several times. And today you want to be funky? There it is. So, let's remove this side cover. This can be a little bit tricky, folks, but it comes up like that. I just use this little piece of screwdriver and whoop, there it is. Now, this is where the fun starts. This little tiny spring operates your actuator arm right here. Let me turn this around for you. This tiny spring always pops off, so watch your table. This is your actuator arm. It locks the cylinder in place. We're going to take that arm out now. See? Little arm. Now. Hold on, let me get a pointer again. This little spring. This little tiny spring. It actuates here and here. That's your trigger spring. Watch. Boom. That brings up the lever here to lock the cylinder in place. Again, very important. Watch that spring. I'm going to just take it off with my finger over it so it doesn't go flying across my camper. In it goes to the bin. I'm now going to remove my hammer. And as you might see, I have my guns well lubricated. Now I'm going to remove my trigger. This here is your safety. All right? Very important. We're going to remove the safety. And set that aside. Okay. Next up is the hammer spring. Right here. That's the hammer spring. It locks into the back of the hammer. Right here. Let's take that out of our way so it won't be falling on the floor. Okay, I'm going to turn this a little bit. This is your gas valve. Let me show you what it looks like outside of the gun. This is what the gas valve looks like. There is a rubber seal that is right here that goes onto the other side of the frame. Your frame is part of your gas valve. Okay, now let's continue going on with the loose barrel part. See, we got a loose barrel. We're going to remove the center pin of the cylinder and remove the cylinder. Now, as I said, we have a drift pin here and a drift pin here. We're going to take the appropriate roll pin tool. This is real tools, not, let's not use a paper clip. And my jeweler's hammer, and drive these roll pins out. Ooh, this one seems a little stubborn. And you know what that's telling me? I may have a twist. So there are the exposed roll pins. Let's push this one out a little bit further so we can get it. Okay. Let's see, we're pretty good there. Yep. Yep. There we go, it came out. Now see, this is what I mean. They're headed. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Let me grab a pair of tweezers. So you can see there are some grooves at the very top of that roll pin. Whoops, I dropped that one. Good thing I'm over my table. So that goes in the container. Yeah, this one's still being a little stubborn. So let's give it a couple more taps. It's funny, when you want a magnet, you never have one, but my tools are magnetic. Oh yes, this must be bound because the barrel is wobbly so much. Because I would think that would have just came out already. Ah, there we go. Okay, what do we have here? We've got the outer barrel, the spring and cartridge release mechanism. Then we have the inner barrel, which, as we see, is spring-loaded at the front. Oh, look at all that dirt on there. Ooh, doggy. This is what locks into your cylinder, because this is spring-loaded in the outer barrel casing. This is what comes up and locks in like that, which makes this cylinder part of your firing barrel when you go to shoot. So let's set that aside. Now, let's remove the spring for a moment. It should come right out. All right, maybe, oh, there it goes. There it goes. Let's note the direction. See on that end? It's got a little twist to it. And on the other end, it's wide open. So it is directional. Now, our barrel wobbled up here. And the barrel is only held in with these two roll pins, as you just saw me take out. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of light tin from a beer can, so you can use a beer can or a soda can, and estimated magnetic tools that it is approximately 7/16 of an inch wide to fit here. Can you see that? We're going to use this piece of tin, aluminum can, and go from here to here as a shim. Now, I just kind of guessed at the size and the length. Pardon me. So, we're going to take this and we're going to go like this. Oh, I might have made it a little too short. I guess my guesstimate was a little bit off. I am a tad short. Okay. But it should work. All right. So let's put this spring back in. Probably didn't have to remove it, but I was just trying to be safe. There we go. Let's take a rag here while we have this out. That is the actual barrel that the pellet fires through. You see down that tube? There you go, there you go, you can see it. That's the actual barrel that is rifled. Let's take a rag here. And let's just give it a little wipey. Let's take a little bit of silicone gel here on this end. That way we know this forward spring is a little bit lubed. Let's check our cone. Yep, our cone looks pretty good. Let's give that a little wipey too. And let's place our barrel, our actual barrel, in our outer sheath barrel. Let's make sure it springs back and forth. See that? Because that springs in and out every time. Okay. So we got our barrel assembly back together. We've checked for damage here. I don't see any frame damage. So let's take our little piece of tin. I say tin, you know, it's really not tin. It's aluminum. And let's take that and guide this back in together. Now I see something I got to goof with. Yep. This ejector rod. There we go. Let's get that lined up. Ah, see? I didn't have the ejector rod in the right place. Okay, there we go. Now let's try sliding this together again with the piece of aluminum in there. Now, folks, you were doing this with me. I've never done this before. So this is like open heart surgery, and I'm a plumber. Now, I know there's a couple of videos out there that show another way to do this, but I wasn't really trusting of them, because it didn't look like it solved my problem. Oh, come on, baby. Get in there. See, my shim wants to skewer a little bit. Let's try to get that in there. Yeah, see it skewered on this side. Let's back it out. Come on, boo-boo, we're smarter than the average bear. That would be a Yogi Bear joke. Okay, it's almost in there. My barrel is still springing. I'm a lot tighter this way. Now what I'm going to do, let me look here for a second, is I'm needing a junction block, don't I? I need a tab block. I don't know if I can use my palm this way. Oh, it seems like I'm getting there. Maybe just need to hit a little bit further. Almost there. Let's just down tap it like this. Oh, look at that. We're really close. Just a little bit more. Yep. Look at that. That's still springing. Oh, it looks like we've made it. Look at that. No wobble. Now, let's take this one pin and let's tap it through. Look at that, folks. Right in. Now let's set that pin. That pin's seated. Oh, hold on. My fingers aren't quite working. There we go. Let's get the other roll pin. Place it in correctly. As you see, there are notches up here. That means it locks into the metal of the barrel. Let's drive that one in. And now let's seat that one. And there we go. Look at this. No barrel wobble. You see that?